Welcome to another short subject from educatevirtually.com. We're going to cover the SIPOC Process Map. The SIPOC Process Map is a way to put the bounds around an improvement project. It defines the beginning and the end and the scope of the improvement project that you're tackling. SIPOC is an acronym that stands for the suppliers who provide us with inputs that go into our process. Our process steps generate the outputs that then go to customers. So let's take a hypothetical situation. Let's take a look at the strategic management of a supply chain. Let's say we're trying to improve that particular process. So we may have, as players or people that provide inputs into our process, not necessarily just the suppliers, although the suppliers are important. We have suppliers. We also have customers, which are going to provide us with demand. We may have R&D. We have strategic supplier management. We have strategic quality management. And we might also have sales and marketing providing us with inputs. And there may be some others. And then we take a look at what is it that they give us. Well, the customer is probably going to provide us with demand and requirements. R&D may be providing us with some new products that we're going to be selling. All right? The suppliers are going to provide us with their ability to produce whatever it is that we need them to supply to us. These are inputs that all jump into our process. The process would then be comprised of steps. And when we build our SIPOC, we're keeping it at a very high level. So we're going to have this restricted to just 5 steps. So we'll have the first step, which is where we start, and the last step would be the end. And then we have some multiple steps in between. Now these steps in our process, it could be we identify a potential supplier that's going to help meet our demand. We provide them with requirements. We review their capabilities. We may have a first article inspection. And then we finalize with, we are now able to provide all of the goods and services we need to manage our supply chain. Each of the process steps is what actually generates the outputs. So the outputs that we would have, we would list our process steps over here. And our suppliers provide us with inputs, customer gives us inputs, all of these things give us inputs. And these inputs feed into our process. They don't necessarily align with the outputs that are going to our customers. They're just feeding into the process. They feed into either step 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. These process steps each generate outputs as they move from step to step to step within our process. So step number 1 is going to generate some outputs. Those outputs are going to go to some specific customers. The outputs from step number 2 are going to go to its specific set of customers. The outputs from step 3 to its customers, step 4, and then also step 5. And they will each have a listing of customers that are receiving the output from these process steps. Well, that's SIPOC, and that's a way to define the boundaries of a project. Where do we start? Where do we stop? Who provides us with inputs into our process? Potential contributors to variation. What are some of the things that we generate in our process? The outputs. And where do those outputs go? Those go to customers. These customers could be both internal and external. So that's process mapping at a high level using SIPOC, and it's brought to you by educatevirtually.com. Continuing education when the time is right for you. We can bring you e-learning, webinars on demand, or coaching and facilitation support. So go ahead and visit us sometime. You may find something that you can learn. Thanks for watching.